Don't put that on there. Okay. Hmm. My hair is driving me nuts. Try to get this lighting a bit better. Okay. Just gonna hold on. Hold on. Hold on to your love. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, my hair does need a cut. It does not fail. I have to do this every time. Sorry. So I'm going to start in just a few seconds here. All right. So today's live is really fueled by some cards I pulled that I was gonna do a short on that I did not do, and I have been channeling on this for a few days, and so I am not gonna lie, I have notes, and so I'm gonna do a little introduction to get us to what we're talking about, and today's subject is about tips on how to make a successful and a permanent reunion. Okay? And so you met your twin flame, whether you were looking to meet your twin flame or it just happened upon your life. You met your twin flame and it started this Kundalini awakening, which starts in the root chakra. It's a very sexual energy that moves up your chakra system, and leads to a deep spiritual awakening. It's a deeper spiritual awakening if you've already been awakened on the spiritual path before you met your counterpart, okay? And then you have the bubble love stage, which lasts between 2 weeks and 12 weeks usually. And I lost my place. Hold on. And then usually one of the twins runs. And of course, it's usually the divine masculine. In this collective, it's a divine masculine for the most part, okay? And so they're not ready to face it or to be vulnerable or to understand these very deep emotions that are so strong. And so here starts the journey of heaven and hell and peace and chaos in the extreme, which no one really can understand that's not on the journey or really close to someone that's on the journey and open to what's going on. And I want to talk about where we're at now and how to make it a successful and permanent reunion, because there is no higher aspiration, right, than to return to self, to return to oneness, to return home, which requires complete self-love, vulnerability, and surrender. So I want to show why I'm doing this first, and then we'll go into what it's about. So I pulled cards the other day. Okay. And the overall energy was the Eight of Cups, which says walking away from what no longer serves you and toward, okay, in this deck we have Star, Wish Fulfillment. We have a rainbow, which is the twin flame, one of the twin flame signs. So she is walking she or he, whatever, is walking, swimming away from what no longer serves them. They're in their emotions. They're surrendering to their emotions to move toward their wish fulfillment and their what their soul really wants. And so the cards that came out were the Three of Cups, which is the card of celebration, right? It's about the third energy. For me, this is about the third energy coming together, okay? And then we have the Five of Wands. So this is a temporary energy where you kind of play some mind games with yourself or whatever. And then again, in this deck, I see this portal, I see the fire, I see him kind of cocooned for healing kind of thing, right? And then I see I'm going to say this is a lily, and it's a death and rebirth kind of energy with the volcano behind them. So the last two cards that came out were the World, the most powerful card in the deck, and this is really about surrendering to a new beginning, and the Emperor. The Emperor, the Divine Masculine, is stepping into the Emperor mode. He is wanting to bring in this new beginning, walk away from what doesn't serve him. He's a little bit in his head, but he knows what this third energy is, and subconsciously, and he wants to bring it to fruition. I was like, well, let me pull from the Twin Flame Ascension deck, and I get the bottom of the deck, Reunion, reconciling differences, and the card that was pulled, you can't make this up, was 1111, mission accomplished, welcome home. You know what? And I said, instead of making a video, I said, good God, are you kidding me? Like, how many times am I gonna pull this message, okay? How many times do I pull this message? And we all know that this is not a straight journey. This is not a linear journey. It's a journey where we go around and up and around and up. So you go through the same lesson until you learn it completely, or you go through the same energy until you can temper it, integrate it, and move forward, right? And so I also, just so you know, I also was like, well, what's powering this reunion? What's under reunion? Honor, right? Honor your agreement. And then we have clearing core wounds, okay? Hello. We just talked about, I did a little short on very deep core wounds. And so I was like, come on, what is this? Why do we keep getting this message? It's a little disheartening. And so I said, to my guides, and mostly I talk to Archangel Michael when it comes to the twin flames. I said, why do you want me to keep giving this message? And please help me to help sort this out. What can we do? And I'm looking for a card so I can talk about it as part of what I'm going to talk about. And so began, a few days high of, you'll want to go back and see the beginning. I showed the reading that led me to, that I did not put up, that led me to this video to do tips. And so, hold on, I got it almost. Nope, that's not it. So I said, yeah, so this led me to a few days of, okay, we're going to talk about how to go properly, I'm sorry, that's not the word I want, how to successfully move into a permanent reunion. Let me fix that. And so, because I did not put this reading up. I said I've done this reading enough time. So I do have notes because I've been channeling for a few days. And so my number one tip, or my first tip about how to move into reunion and successfully stay there, make it permanent, is about self-empowerment. It's about stop watching tarot readers or channelers who believe that you cannot or are not meant to come into union in this lifetime. Now, you're intuitive enough to understand when a tarot reader or a channeler is really of that mindset, okay? And what they say, I mean, I get it. I hear this all the time, but what they say happened really did happen. Okay, yes. And what they say will happen, really will happen the moment you accept that for yourself. Do you understand? Like, it takes two counterparts to really want to come together for this to work. I get that, okay? But you must transform out of this victim mentality. So I try to make my channel about empowerment. And so you're just coming here and saying, oh yeah, that's what's been going on. I do feel better. And what am I going to do to move forward? So listening to people who intrinsically do not believe that the twin flame will come together. And this could be because their counterpart is not doing the work and they know it's not going to happen for them. Don't watch those channels unless you can put aside that energy, because you do create your reality. And so if you're like most divine feminines, you were awake before you met your divine counterpart, your DM, and you knew your own power. You knew your power to manifest. And what happens is, often we think once we get on this journey that the divine has taken away our power to manifest. And I want to explain this away really good for you. So, first of all, the divine will never take away your power to manifest. Second of all, the difference is you've spent your life manifesting in soulmates. Your divine counterpart is not your soulmate. It's the same. You're talking about the same soul signature, the same energy as you. And so what it is that you cannot do is you cannot take away your divine counterpart's sovereignty. So you cannot make them appear into your life the instant you want them to appear into your life. You can't make a soulmate. If you don't want to wait, you can make a soulmate appear into your life, because this is not a soulmate journey. A soulmate is, they feel like home. There's someone nice and comfortable you can sit next to, and you can grow together. A twin flame is not that. You are the same signature, and the reason that you must, in almost all cases, you must separate is because you're the same soul signature. And if you come together without clearing your energy, being able to temper your energy, this comes up all the time in readings, right? You have to be able to temper your energy. What's tempering? This is an alchemy. You are alchemizing your energy. You're able to temper your own energy field and the shared field with your twin flame. If one of you is adept at this, it's helpful, but you both have to be able to do this to come together, because otherwise you can really cause all kinds of explosion in your life. I mean, it's not just good explosion. You can really hurt each other and the people, and I don't mean physically, I do really mean energetically. So we must temper, we must be in the same, very similar vibratory pattern, a higher vibratory pattern, one where you can calm and temper your energy, right? Okay. So you must, and I wrote, thank you, and I wrote, you must vibrate with clarity to come home. You must both vibrate with clarity. That means you're cleansing, or you're healing your core wounds, karma. Not only that on this journey, guys, but also often you are healing karmic patterns of the collective, maybe, and often your own ancestral line or each other's ancestral line. So this must, because this can affect this energy field, right? And so I'm trying to look at so okay, so what yeah, I really want to drive that home. You really have to be able to temper your energy field and the shared energy field between you. And so I said to Archangel Michael, because, I know this has been happening for probably close to a year, where the divine masculine appears to be moving toward union or reunion, and he pulls back. And what exactly is going on? Well, of course, you know what? First of all, if you're a divine feminine, you are not responsible for what your divine masculine is doing. And second of all, Archangel Michael said that the journey into reunion, the beginning of reunion is when you start communicating about reunion. And so pay attention there to triggers. So what you have to do when the triggers come is you have to be able to pull yourself away. Okay, so you pull yourself away with the triggers when you start the communication about reunion. You're not responsible for what your counterpart does. So if they can't do it, it's not going to happen yet. And you know what? At any point, you are welcome to move on to a soulmate. I'm laughing because Archangel Michael's like, no, yeah. Okay, we all try. I know we've all tried to walk away from this if you're watching, and he's like, yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked about it before. You sign up for this before you come here, and then you make some type of statement after you've met your counterpart, and so you're on the journey, right? Okay, so you have to be able to successfully put yourself away with the triggers and go figure out why this triggered you, okay? And what do you need to do? What do you need to look at? Sometimes it's just that energy coming back around and it wants to keep a hold of you. I talked about this before, how we heal things, but part of even your own energetic field kind of wants to keep that there with you, because it's something you're used to. It's a pattern that feels comfortable energetically, so your energy field kind of keeps it there. So sometimes you just need to look at it and say, you know what? I'm done with this. It's over. Hi. So the last thing that I want to talk about is when you physically and by the way, Archangel Michael said this is for whether your initial meeting was in the physical or not, because you can go through the 2 to 12 week bubble love phase physically or energetically, especially if you're adept at energetic things or healing or moving around, alchemy, that kind of thing. So it doesn't matter which way you went through that. These tips are important either way. And so also the last thing is that when you come physically together into the reunion, that you must make it so that you may move away from each other physically if you need to, right? So in a lot of cases, the divine masculine because he's more in a subconscious way understanding this journey than conscious like the feminine, right? So in a lot of cases, divine masculine will fall asleep. He'll go to sleep. So you hit him with that energy and he's out, right? If you guys can temper it that way, he's out. You kind of go downstairs or in the other room if you don't have it downstairs, and you go have a piece of chocolate or something. That's fine, but you have to be able to physically move away from each other. So this means in a lot of cases, some people want to come together in reunion the first time on a vacation. This is not a good idea. You've got to be able to move away from each other. And so this usually can be accomplished within, I'm just talking about physically moving away from each other, like physically, like, okay, I need to move. I need to get away from this energy for a few hours. I'm going to get in a car. I'm going to go, down the street, whatever you have, to the park, to the lake, to the ocean. I'm going to go spend a few hours by myself, and then I'm going to come back. This all has to be open. You don't have to do this, but you have to have this possibility. If you don't, want the divine masculine to run again, if that's the one who ran, it usually is a divine masculine. So if you don't want that to play over again, where they run off, then you want to have the space for this. But again, if you missed the beginning, I showed the whole reading of why I did this video, on the tips, you know, and it's very important to understand you cannot treat this reunion like you're just going back to your soulmate who you're comfortable with, and you want to sit down. You know, I think you want to sit down and learn together. This is about going home. This is about loving yourself enough, surrendering into the ability to move home, understanding that you are lovable enough to be in that energy, to be vulnerable, to have that trust. And that, what is the one thing I wanted to say? It's about, so these relationships are unconditional. You have unconditional love. And so this is about losing conditions, right? That's what you spend all this time apart for. And it's about the only condition you accepting in your life is the condition of love, right? I like to say it like that, because instead of just saying, you know, this is unconditional love, blah, 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 it's not easy to get to the part where you can let all the conditions that you were raised with and you've walked through life with go, and just surrender to the unconditional, which is you, which is your own love and your ultimate partner. So I hope this was helpful. And please, if you missed any of the beginning about empowerment and stuff like that, go back and watch the beginning. I love you all.